Vigits, yo, what's up, guys? What is going on? Hope y'all are doing well. Welcome back, welcome back. Manchester City versus West Ham. Manchester City's, you know what, the only team I can say with absolute confidence that, it was rather easy. It was an easy game. I don't want to belittle West Ham because West Ham, I think, did a really good job, especially the way they set themselves up. I think they did a phenomenal job in just keeping Manchester City from not penetrating that middle. But Manchester City, walk in the park. You know, you're not going to go to the Emirates and outpossess them. Definitely not outpossess them. That's not going to happen. And I got to say, like, City fans are very spoiled because you could tell like the level that this team's at, that they expect them to score the first half. Like, I think by minute 20, 30, people already upset. I'm not saying they were bullying them, but just the noise, the ruckus that came out every single time that they were close to scoring. It was like, oh, you're disappointing me. Oh, like, you're letting me down and not scoring. Like, that should have been a goal. Why wasn't a goal? So that's crazy. That's crazy that they're at that level, you know, and that's what the fans demand. But like I was saying about West Ham did a really good job of just like stopping them from penetrating through the middle. The only times I remember that they got close to scoring, that it came through the middle, was the Mars shot that hit the first post, and then Rodri pushing it in the box. But that seemed to me like it was Haaland setting himself up for his left foot. I don't think it was so much of a pass. But anyways, he got through the defense and hit the first post and almost goals. Those are like the only two chances that they created through the middle, and then everything else was just flowing through the side of Grealish. Barely anything from the side of Mars. Mars was just getting the ball and a Saka, just passing it back. But just seemed a lot more secure than Saka. Man, I really, really dislike Saka. Yeah, I do. Again, because I think he could do better. But Grealish, and Grealish, staying on the topic of Saka, Grealish is also predictable. He does the same thing that Saka does, which is like, in this case, he shifts to his left and then cuts to his right. But the difference for me is that he takes the ball, he like carries the ball, which it's crazy that he does that. He gets to get away with that, and playing for City, because Pep wants you to touch the ball as soon as you get it. But hey, if Pep is okay with it, then I guess we all got to be okay with it, right? But yeah, he carries it. He gets past one marker, a second defender, and then makes the clever pass. Saka, sometimes he does that. He scores, yeah, but I feel like sometimes he does that. And Grealish also takes it down the line. That's the biggest difference for me. Take it down the fucking line, man, But yeah, I digress with that whole thing. So Grealish, he played really well. And then the second half, that's when Mahrez got into the game. He got a little bit more involved in that amazing set piece, that touch, that touch. Barely broke a sweat with that touch. Just quality in that center. Like I said, look, I don't want to belittle, like I said, West Ham, because they did really well in defending. But it kind of sucked because they were mostly just defending, and then there was nobody in the front to be able to make the counter or the break. And anytime there was a corner kick, and they cleared it out. But every time they cleared it out, it was just City gaining the ball again, just to start all over. And that was pretty much like the whole sequence of the first half. And the second half, more or less the same. And another thing with City, just like the luxury that they can say like, oh, we're just resting this player, not because he's injured. We're just resting. That's the craziest thing. I don't think I've ever seen that any other team, to be honest. I mean, if you're talking about Bayern, Real Madrid, or PSG, for example, you can't just say, oh, we're resting Mbappe because he's just tired, and that's it. Not because he's injured. No, because he's just tired and he needs to chill. That's savage from Pep, to be able to be in the press conference, and when he's asked by a journalist like, how come you rested Gundogan, KDB, Kevin De Bruyne? He needs to rest, and we have other players, and everybody has to be involved. That's nuts that we live in in a time. I'm privileged, I feel like, to be able to see a team like that, because these players in any other team would be starters, 100%. And I'm talking about big teams like Bayern Munich, like I just mentioned, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. You can't just say Mbappe, Benzema, they're just resting because they're, just because I feel like resting them. They're indispensable. They need to play every match. I think that's crazy. It's just crazy. And of course, Haaland, the goal was phenomenal. The goal was sick AF with the chip. I got a little bit choked up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I couldn't understand why, and I guess it's because it's unprecedented what this kid did. Being able to break a record. I do kind of remember Alan Shearer, not that well. Definitely Andy Cole. I knew about him back in the day. I don't think I've ever seen him play. Yeah, I don't think I've seen him play. So to know that he broke such a big record, that's crazy, and that I get to be a part of that. I get to be looking at that. Look, it's just numbers. I get it. It's not a big deal. It's still crazy. It's still crazy that I get to see that, and it's in his first season. in his first season. That's beyond normal. We gotta boycott or sign a petition to get this guy to the World Cup, because I just think he needs one World Cup, not 2 or 3, one World Cup for him to break that record, of highest goal scorer of all World Cup. I know Odegaard is part of the Norwegian team, but I don't know anybody else. But they need to get their act together and get this guy, to play. Just the same way we got to get Messi, which I thought was the dumbest thing. I still think it's the dumbest thing when I think about it. That, we're winning for Messi, the Argentinian team. We got to qualify to the World Cup for this guy. The best thing to see Haaland play in the World Cup. So hats off to him, and congrats to Haaland. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for future videos as always, and I'll see you in the next match. Peace.